Lawrence Sprouse. This is the Bible Forum. We're here every Sunday night from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, just for you. We look at life through a biblical lens. We try to solve all the world's problems in 2 hours or less. Tonight, we're talking prophecy. The previous segments have been on that subject. We're going to continue with that throughout the evening, but I wanted to interject along the way a little bit of politics, something I've entitled The Truly Flawed versus the Truly Arrogant. One of the main reasons that people are afraid that Hillary will become the President of the United States is that they know her. People who don't know who or what she is are the people that are being swayed, like millennials who don't pay attention to anything if it doesn't occur on Twitter or Facebook. If it's not part of the current contemporary everyday social something or other, it's not important. Ask them any question at all about life, law, the Constitution, our founding principles, American values, and you just hear crickets. Ask them about popular music, about artists and drugs. They can tell you about anything you want to know and talk to you all day long. Recently, polls are indicating millennials are moving away from Hillary, and inquiring minds want to know why. Well, apparently the message is getting out about her immorality while in office, her pandering, her hiding of emails from the public, her bad deals, her self-serving deals. An Associated Press report indicates the first systematic effort to calculate the scope of the intersecting interests of the Clinton Foundation donors with people then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton spoke with or met. More than half the people outside of government who met with Hillary while she was Secretary of State gave money, either personally or through companies or groups, to the Clinton Foundation. At least 85 of the 154 people gave or pledged money to her family charity or its international programs, totaling as much as $156 million. Now, those meetings do not appear to violate legal agreements the Clintons signed before Hillary joined the State Department. However, the frequency shows an intermingling of access and donations, fueling the perceptions that it was a pay-for-play affair. Associated Press goes on to say her calendars and emails released as recently as this week describe scores of contacts she and her top aides had with foundation donors. Apparently, not all her records have been made public, at least not yet. I would add Benghazi. We've talked about that before. A massive mishandling of that situation and an even worse cover-up. Outright lying to the parents' faces of these dead men. And the patchwork foreign policy initiatives which have created a truly dangerous world, from Russia to Iran to Syria to Iraq, Afghanistan. Israel was left to just hang in the breeze during Hillary's tenure. Crimea, eastern Ukraine, fell to Russia. The U.S. and NATO just standing there watching it all happen. Hillary's personal life exposes her as a scheming, dominant, foul-mouthed person who will stop at little to get what she wants. Even now, she is deliberately avoiding the press. More than 260 days without a press conference. And she even refuses to respond to questions shouted at her when she's on the road, which is seldom, working 4 days a week. A fact that fuels speculation about her health. Have you heard the medical doctor who has made the rounds calling major talk shows to describe his evaluation based on what he knows? He called Rush just this week. He had talked to, I don't know whether, I guess he's talked to all of them, Glenn Beck and what's the other guy? Can't think of his name. Little combative guy. But he's under the impression that she is in serious medical danger, and that either she's not getting the proper medication and treatment, or if they are treating her correctly, they're not telling us what she's got. A Hillary presidency would see more of what Obama has done and worse. Obama's administration has kept us from recovering from the now 8-year-old recession. Our reputation around the world has suffered significantly. The balance of power has shifted away from the Western world. Our morality is significantly and seriously compromised. Our educational system is headed for certain disaster. Our healthcare system is about to hit the proverbial wall, and our enemies are gaining in strength and boldness while we play with bathroom issues and immigration. A Hillary presidency would open the door to more illegal immigrants, an emotional issue tinged with all the pathos of a funeral. No nation on earth has ever survived an open border policy, and for good reason. Over the last 50 years, immigrants have not fully integrated into our society. People who are born in this country from parents and grandparents and great-grandparents and great-great-parents that have been here for hundreds of years are not integrating into our society. They don't speak the language. They don't share the values. They don't share the morality. They don't have the same goals or standards. They're carving out mini societies that actually mitigate against all the other mini societies. We don't even teach core values anymore. Everything is global. Everything is inclusive. Everything is relative. Why do the activist Democrats want a progressive president? Because they hate America as she has been conceived. Opening the borders would destroy our founding culture and make us just one more nation in a list of nations struggling to keep from drowning. And in that environment, the elitists win. The battle is truly religious, cultural, and economic, and it is a battle for survival. We will do well to be wary of a Hillary presidency. But we are fearful of a Trump presidency. The Trump signature is synonymous with the most prestigious of addresses in the world. Donald Trump, a native of New York City, graduate of the Wharton School of Finance, and in 1984 he won the Entrepreneur of the Year award from the Wharton School. He began as the developer of the largest parcel of land in New York City, the former West Side Rail Yards, which is now called Trump Place. On this 100-acre property, fronting along Hudson River from 59th to 72nd Street, 59th Street to 72nd Street, is the largest development ever approved by the New York City Planning Commission. Trump also donated a 25-acre waterfront park on Trump Place and a 700-foot sculptured pier to the city of New York. He recently rebuilt the Woolman skating rink in New York City's Central Park, renaming it Trump Rink. Trump International Hotel and Tower in Chicago is a 2.7 million square foot, 92-story mixed-use tower located on the banks of the Chicago River, the most prominent site in Chicago. It's one of the tallest residences in the world and the 9th tallest building in the world. Trump owns and has built large and luxurious golf courses around the world. In Palm Beach, Florida, he converted the famous and historic estate owned by Marjorie Merriweather Post and E.F. Hutton, called Mar-a-Lago, into the private ultra-luxury Mar-a-Lago Club. It has received the award from the American Academy of Hospitality Sciences as the best club anywhere in the world. Mr. Trump and the NBC television network are partners in the ownership and broadcast rights for the 3 largest beauty competitions in the world: Miss Universe, Miss USA, Miss Teen USA. In Trump's 1987 autobiography, The Art of the Deal, He became one of the most successful business bestsellers of all time, sold in excess of 3 million copies, and being a New York Times #1 bestseller for many, many weeks. The sequel, Surviving at the Top, was on the New York Times bestseller list, was also #1 bestseller along with his third book, The Art of the Comeback. His fourth book, The America We Deserve, was a departure from his past literary efforts. The book deals with issues most important to the American people today and focuses on the views regarding American political, economic, and social problems. In 2004, Mr. Trump joined forces with Mark Burnett Productions and NBC to produce and star in the television reality show The Apprentice. That show quickly became the #1 show on television, making ratings history and receiving rave reviews. The first season finale had the highest ratings on television that year after the Super Bowl, with 41.5 million people watching. In August of 2006, the issue of Businessweek magazine, Mr. Trump was voted by their readers as the world's most competitive business person. And he was voted by the staff and writers of Businessweek as one of the top 10 most competitive business people in the world. Now that doesn't sound to me like a political resume. Does it sound like it to you? But it does highlight the fact that he's successful at whatever he goes after. People like this only attempt what they are reasonably certain they can achieve. His past successes in probably the most competitive markets in the world, including New York City, are a testimony to his tenacity and to his courage. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Those not familiar with the New York attitude do not know whereof I speak. Those who do understand completely. The phrase, "it's not personal, it's just business," is not a concept limited just to the mob. So here you have this person. On the one hand, a very much known entity called Hillary Clinton. On the other hand, you have a businessman that you only know from a distance. Hillary is a woman who has worked her entire adult life to be president. She married a man she believed would take her to that goal. She has orchestrated their lives toward this purpose. But apparently she has always been dancing on the edge of illegalities, immoralities. On the other side is a 20th century mogul, a man who has demonstrated his ability to do whatever he sets out to do. And after 30 years of success in the toughest market probably in the world, the Donald does not believe he can fail at whatever he undertakes. And the people who do business with him and work for him and are around him, they believe it. In his election speeches, he hits all the conservative hot buttons. When he's freewheeling, he steps all over himself, causes a whole lot of fear and concern in the hearts of conservatives. When he stays on message, he's a thing of beauty. But who is he? Hillary's an open book. This guy we just don't know. A man such as this believes himself to be capable of solving or resolving almost anything. What will he do with the power of this presidency? And what happens as President Trump goes off script and in a room with Putin? We have some serious things to ponder as we move toward an election. We have a choice. And for some of us, the choice is between handing it over to a woman who has demonstrated her willingness and desire to destroy us at our very heart, or hand it over to a man who is likely to do almost anything, but is also likely to get things done. That is truly frightening.